What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today guys is going to be one full live game but not live commed. It's going to be post commed because I've got some stuff I want to talk about here today. It was supposed to be a video filled with content, gameplay, packs, league SBCs and the works, but for about 14 hours the EA servers were down. So I started streaming at about 8:30. I got one game in, this game, and then the servers went down from literally 9 p.m. until about, some people said 10 a.m., some people said 11 a.m. So somewhere around the 13 to 14 hour mark, matchmaking was disabled, and so I couldn't play more. And so this weekend, I'm actually really going to struggle to get even to 14 wins, even though it's been extended, because it's Saturday that you're watching this. For those that don't know, it's way back in town. We're going to head up to Manchester on Monday. And it's already like Saturday evening toward, and I'm going to be going out Saturday night as well, so there won't be much time to play champs on Saturday. So it's just going to be Sunday that I have time to play champs, and I've got to prepare videos for Monday during that time as well. So I'm hoping I can get to like 6 or 11 wins, get some objectives done, get the points again, because I forgot to redeem my entry last week before I claimed rewards. 2,000 points just went missing. So even if I have to go into Division 1 and play some games to get the points, it's not too much of an issue. But if I can even get 6 wins and get 1,000 points back, that would be a big help. But I decided to show this full game because there's just some good goals scored in it. My opponent had an average team but wasn't a bad player. And yeah, I wanted to take some comments. A lot to talk about. But first comment is, which was the top comment, is from Pikey Lad. He says, "Hey Nep, was just wondering if you could shout out my friend Tyler, who's been ill for a really long time and is a massive fan of yours. I know he watches this vid and I want him to know that we support him through everything he's going through. Thanks." So shout out to Tyler. I hope you get better. I hope it's not a serious illness, or I hope it's definitely a recoverable illness. And yeah, shout out to you, dude. The best in your recovery. And the next comment is from RKH, and this comment was in the chat a lot, and so I want to explain my thinking behind why I didn't do what you think I should do. And that is from RKH. It says, "Hey Nep, why don't you do the same thing that you did before? You could switch around Van Dijk and Valencia, and hence De Gea will be on full chemistry." So the reason why I switched around Alonso and Van Dijk is because it wasn't a detriment to Alonso, and it wasn't a detriment to Van Dijk, and it was a benefit to David De Gea. So I had Alonso because he's a left back at right back. Alonso was on 7 chemistry. Van Dijk was on 8 chemistry. De Gea was on 8 chemistry. Switching them around, Alonso was still on 7 chemistry. Van Dijk was still on, I think, went down to 7 chemistry from 8, but De Gea went up from 8 to 10. So we got one of the 3 players on full chemistry instead of having 0 of the 3 players off chem. Right now with Valencia at right back, because he is a right back, he's on full chem. And so I have to prioritize, do I want my goalkeeper on full chem or do I want my fullback on full chem? Because Van Dijk's going to be on 8 no matter what. And I don't want De Gea on... I prefer to have, Valencia on 10 chem and then 8 and 8 for Van Dijk and De Gea instead of 7 and 7 for the defenders and 10 for the goalkeeper. So that's just my personal preference on that one. The next comment comes from Louis Walker. He says, League SBC method is going well, completing the League SBC wise, but the only problem is I can't pack anyone good enough. So for me, the League SBC method isn't about packing anyone good enough. It's about just constantly having a revolving club. Even if you're taking small losses here and there and there and here and here and there, like we have done many times, eventually you're going to come good. And on that note, there was another comment from Hakim Selmir. It says, "Nep, the League SBC grind so far is so good for me. I packed De Bruyne, Kroos, Godin, Neymar, and more than 10 informs. And I've also almost completed Maldini Prime moments. I'm very happy that I started this grind. Keep up the good work and let's grind." And so for me, we'll get back to you not necessarily packing anything right now, but if you're not grinding towards something, if you're not grinding towards an icon or anything, and you're just selling all of the big players and all of the informs and stuff, you will just make so many coins. Like to give an understanding, this is kind of pertinent to both comments. You know, I've talked about this a few times, but to give another little rundown, I was at 3 weeks ago, I was at 1.1 million coins. We completed from that. We started completing Vieira. We started completing Bergkamp. We've done Vieira. We also done Valencia. And I went all the way down to like 570, 580,000 coins. And then over this last week just gone, I went all the way back up to 900,000 coins, maybe 920 or so. And then Valencia came out, so I did him, and now I'm actually back down now. I think I'm somewhere about 770, 750, maybe 800, depending on how much stuff I have on the trade pile. And so although I've never hit up to that 1.1 million mark, I've added Patrick Vieira, 7 out of 10 for Dennis Bergkamp, and Antonio Valencia into my club. And so if I didn't complete those 3 cards, I would be on 1.6 or 1.7 or 1.8 million. So I would have made so many more coins. So I've decided to, instead of taking those coins, putting them into players. And so I also have 11 informs in the club. I have about 3 or 4 86s and 87s, maybe 4 or 5 86s and 87s now, actually, because I hit a few yesterday. I have like 8 to 10 85s and like 20 84s and 30 83s. So we're in such a strong position. Whereas even if I sold everything from this point onwards, I would probably have over the 1.1 million that I had previously. And then I would also be able to say that I've also got Patrick Vieira. I've also got Dennis Bergkamp, 7 out of 10. And I've also got Antonio Valencia. And so it's not about packing someone good enough. It's about just making sure that you do things as efficiently as possible. And I'm always looking to find a better way to do things. And so this week, from today until Team of the Season starts Friday at 6 p.m, I'm going to try something a little different. I just want to see if it works. And I don't recommend you guys to try this unless you're confident and have a big coin balance and are just comfortable with where you're at in your account. But I had a couple of people tell me that they did this anyway. And then one guy messaged me. He actually emailed me. He messaged me on Twitter initially and then emailed me a breakdown of what he does. And essentially, he only does the major 5 leagues and sells everything else. And I thought to myself, initially, I was like, it sounds okay, but I feel like you're just missing out on a lot of packs in general. You know, like how many times have we completed a full minor league SBC having to buy less than 10% of the players? Think of all those packs and then the card that you get at the end. And of course, for the CSL and the Saudi League and the Pro League, not the Pro League, sorry, the Portuguese League, they have 86 and 87 rated cards. And so I feel like it would be stupid to pass up on that. And even the Argentinian League has Centurion, an 86 rated card and an 85. And then the MLS has 2 85 rated cards. And so I sit there and I think that seems a bit stupid. But it was festering. It was in my mind constantly. And it's been playing on my mind a lot. And I sit there and last night I was doing a few teams here or there. I completed a few of the smaller leagues. And I thought to myself, like there are times where I'm paying like 2, 3, 4,000 coins for a silver or 2 silvers or 10k to finish a team like Arvez or Santi Clara or whoever it may be. You know, the Al Fateh card. Like we pay so many coins to complete those. Is it worth the packs that we get back? Now the packs that we get back are always helpful for crafting the silvers or just packing the silvers for the major leagues. But it's just been festering on me. Like the guy, as I say, he sent me an email breakdown. He has a spreadsheet and he's just been tracking his profits and stuff. And he's hit a few big cards. He's hit 2 icons in 2 weeks. He hit a big inform and a couple of like a Neymar, an Eden Hazard and a few other big cards. And that has to be factored in, of course. But I feel like there's a potential reason why he's hitting so many big cards is because he's opening so many more big packs. So you just got a bigger chance of hitting bigger cards. And so I thought to myself, I wonder if I complete all of the minor league SBCs, no matter what the cost is going to take me from this point. So I'll just, from today onwards, I'll ignore the top 5 leagues for the time being. I go and take all of the minor leagues, and most of them I've got done, you know, 60, 70%. I've already done a lot of the teams, but I just go and pay whatever it costs to just complete them. What I'll then do as well is I'll go back through and complete the real good value pack, like clubs for packs. So Porto and there's like 3 or 4 teams from the Liga NOS that have really good packs for really cheap. There's a couple of the CSL teams that have really good packs for really cheap, and just complete like the really cost efficient packs. And then after that, sell everything from all of the minor leagues. And every time you open a pack from the major league, you're going to get players from those minor leagues and you sell them. Now, the reason why I want to test this and the reason why I don't necessarily think it's too smart for you guys is because you risk not having certain players at the appropriate time for marquee matchups or for SBCs when EA drop them. And so I still think that it might be, you know, I don't necessarily think it's like super smart to just flat out disregard these league SBCs. So I thought what I'll do is I'll start grinding the untradables a lot more bronze packs to upgrade packs, a lot more silver packs to gold packs. And when we're close to completing the league SBCs with a full untradeable set, I'll still do them. I'll just do them way less and sell all of the tradables. Because even now, like, I packed a couple of silvers last night of players that are like just crazy expensive, like 6k. I packed a 6k silver, an 8k silver. I packed one of the right backs from the Saudi league, not from the price fix team, but from another team, and he was selling for like 7k on bid. And I was like, damn, man, like that could just be 7k coins back. If I sold all of those silvers that I've used over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I probably would have been 300, 400, 500,000 coins more in profit from selling them. Obviously, I wouldn't have got the profit back from the packs that I opened, so there would be a kind of like a counterbalance there. But I want to test out to see if it's going to be more profitable to do simply just the major leagues. The other downside to it is that you miss out on the 86 rated cards, you know. But the upside to it is if you are doing the major leagues so often, you're getting 89s and 90s from La Liga, you're getting 87s and 86s from the French League, 86s from the Premier League, 88s, 87s and 86s from the Italian League, and 286s and 85 from the German League. So you're still able to build big clubs up. So I want to run some tests. If you guys want to follow me with that, do it. But if this does work, if this works out better, if we turn more profit a lot quicker, it could be even better. You know, it could be even better. But I really just want to test it out before I get into it, just in case I find that I'm actually overspending because of the fact that, you know, what we get out of the little leagues is we get so many silver packs and mixed players packs and rare mixed players packs and stuff that we hit so many silvers and bronzes from them that just allow us to do teams like Freiburg and Huddersfield and Empoli and stuff just way cheaper. Whereas if I'm worried that if we do the major leagues just over and over, having to constantly fork out 60 or 50k for Huesca or Valladolid and 25 to 30k for Nimes and Toulouse, and, you know, 20 to 25k for Genoa and Parma. I don't think it's going to be great in that sense if you're not making more than that back from selling the silvers and golds from the other minor leagues. So, definitely, as I say, it's definitely something to consider, something to think about, something that I want to just figure out. Just want to figure out. And the reason why I want to figure it out this week now specifically is because if it works, we know before team of the season we've got a better, more refined plan of going forwards. And if it doesn't work, we didn't waste coins during team of the season or waste time during the team of the season. We could go back to the original plan and carry on making bank. The next comment is from Shredder. He says, why don't you just take your corners with Mbappe so he won't stay near post? A lot of people said that, you know, oh, Nep, if you don't like Mbappe standing near post, take your corners with Mbappe. I don't feel like, and I know the ability to decide who's where in the box and stuff isn't in the game at this moment in time. I don't feel like we should need to circumvent issues within the game. It's almost out of spite or out of principle. Like, I want to be able to dictate who stands where and why. I don't want the game to tell me, oh, Mbappe's going to stand near post because he has 99 jumping, 99 heading. Because because for those of you that don't know, that's kind of like the denominators is the jumping and heading. Who I want to stand at near post is I want Timothy Van Dijk to stand there. He's dominant in the air. He's 6'4". He's got insane stats and he will score so many headers from that near post area. But I don't get the opportunity to do that. And even if I did put Mbappe on corners, I actually think Kante goes near post, and he's the one that gets called short. So maybe I will start taking my corners with Mbappe, but I really don't want to have to change from my Kevin De Bruyne corner taker to make sure that I get the right guy at the near post. Like, it's just silly. It's just silly. And then the last comment is from Karim. He says, not hating, just asking why you have Vieira in a striker spot on Henry at CDM. And this triggers so many people, especially when I tweet out my team and stuff for people that don't know. By the way, what a goal that was. The reason why Henry is at CDM and Vieira is at striker is because I got Henry first. And Henry was required to give the strong link to Varane in at centre-back to make sure he got full chem as well. And then I had Ballack at striker. Since then, I've obviously got rid of Ballack because we put in Vieira, and it was easier to just convert Vieira up to a striker instead of converting Vieira from a centre mid to a CDM and then Henry from a CDM all the way up. It literally just saved me like 4,000 coins. And now we're at that point where, because Vieira is a striker and Henry is a CDM, it would cost me about like 12 to 15,000 coins to switch them around, and I just don't want to waste that many coins when it doesn't really matter. The only thing that it makes some influence on, which I hadn't really considered, which is a very valid point, is from kickoffs. Because I've got Vieira at striker, he takes my kickoffs, which means Henry, before, you know, when I change into my default tactics, the 4-2-3-1, Henry is essentially starting as a CDM. So before the tactics get fully into position and fully change around, I've got Vieira at striker and Henry at CDM, and Vieira's taking my kickoff, so he's not in place if I lose possession of the ball quickly. And if I'm not taking kickoff, Henry is my CDM, Vieira is my striker, and so with that regard, it would be probably, it might help me minimally in game to change them around. Maybe we'll change them around over team of the season. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But for right now, because of how little I play the actual game and how irrelevant the results and rewards and stuff are, it just doesn't matter. But there you go, guys. We get a 5-2 win. We scored an insane goal with Henrik Mkhitaryan there. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out.